Hey there! Today I'm sharing some whimsical summer decor DIY ideas that are sure to get you inspired. Hey there, it's Donna. I'm happy to have you joining me today. Let's get crafting. For this project, I'm going to be using these 12 by 12 inch, 3mm thick signs that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I got this file here that I got from Creative Fabrica. They are Cosmos flowers for laser cutting. I'm going to be using this Creality Falcon2 22-watt laser machine along with some accessories. Creality kindly gifted this machine to me, and I'm so excited to share these projects with you. I'll be using the Falcon design space, which is very similar to Cricut design space. You can also use laser Gerbil, light burn, as well as being able to use this machine offline by using a micro SD card, which is so handy to have. All the links to the machine, accessories, and files used will be linked down in the video description below. You're going to want to open up a canvas, and I am going to select the material, which is on the right hand side. Select the material in the menu pop-up, the size and the thickness of the material you will be using for your project. On the left hand side, you'll want to tap on the import button to import the file that we have selected from Creative Fabrica. I'm just going to select two of the flowers from the file, and they're going to pop up a warning, and you want to click on yes. That will automatically adjust the size to fit your canvas. I am going to downsize the actual flowers so that they will fit within the cutting parameters of the wood piece that we have selected. So I'm going to just go ahead and click on them, downsize them, and then I'm going to select them, and on the right hand side, that's where the laser cutting commands will be. I want to make sure that I have the correct line cutting command for the laser cutting machine. It'll tell it what to do. I don't want this to be engraved. I want this to be cut out of the wood. Next, I'm going to select it again, and then a little arrow is going to pop up on the corners, and that will allow you to swivel your image, and then you can get the most out of your material. I filled up the canvas and it's all ready to go. I'm going to put my wood in onto my laser cutting machine. I've got this measuring tool here. It's got different heights for the different materials, thicknesses that you're using, as well as the cutting option and engraving option. You want to put that in the middle of your material, line up your laser module, and it's got some screws on the sides that will allow you to rise it up or lower it. And I'm going to just place that module over top of our measuring tool and then lower it down. And once it reaches the top of the tool, you're going to then screw the module into place, remove that little tool, and it's all ready for you to use. This comes with an air assist. It's automatically included, and it allows for nice clean cuts. Next, you want to make sure you release the emergency stop and turn your machine on. I'm going to have some links for you on how you can just start this machine up, and just all the basics linked down below for you, which is the way I learned how to use this machine. It comes with some goggles, and those are to protect your eyes. Next, you're going to want to frame this, so that will allow you to make sure that your laser is going to cut on your material exactly where it needs to, and it's not going to cut off of the material. So you saw the machine move, and the laser beam was kind of showing where it's going to be cutting. And it wasn't lined up, so I needed to move my material, and then I allowed it to continue to frame until I was happy with the placement. Next, I'm going to seal up this tent, which again was gifted to me. Thank you, Creality. I'm going to close it all up, and that will also seclude all the emissions. I'm using my own ventilation system, but it does come with its ventilation system. You want to air it outside, or you can just do this outside as well. Next, I'm going to press start, which is on the bottom right hand side, and you also have the pause option if needed. So once it starts, you can see that the machine is working to cut through the wood. You can see all the smoke is going without the exhaust, which is awesome. I do have it lit up inside for you just to make it easier for you to see what I am doing. But I have to say that Air Assist is creating nice, clean cuts. It is a great machine. I have been so happy with it. It's been performing so well, and it was so easy to assemble. You just take the frame right out of the box. You only have to add the module as well as the Air Assist. So I allowed the smoke to clear before I opened up the tent. You can see that I still have some space to use on this piece of wood, so I'm going to set that aside for some smaller projects. But you can see how well that machine cut out these flowers. There's no scorch marks, which is awesome. All right, so now I'm going to get my paints ready. I'm going to mix 3 different colors here. They are outdoor paints by Decor. I'm going to mix the colors because I couldn't get the color I wanted from the store, so I'd mix those together. And here are those beautiful laser cut flowers. So the way these work is they work by layering one on top of the other. The one underneath is where I'm going to be adding my paint. I'm just going to add it to the flower and the bud. This one's got just a little divot there at the top, so I'm not going to add some paint there, but that was just user error. I should have turned my wood board to the side because there was a couple of little holes, but anyways, that's just, again, like user error. But I'm going to give 2 coats of paint on each of these flowers, and then I'm going to allow them to dry well in between each coat. Isn't this a pretty color? Okay, so next I want to glue my pieces together. So I am going to be using a little bit of rubbing alcohol here because there is charring on the sides, like on the edge. That's normal, that's natural. I just wanted to show you here though, how easy it is to clean up if you do get any charring. So I'm just going to take some a rag and a rubbing alcohol and just wipe that off, and you could see how it lifted quite easily. So if you get that, that's how you can clean it up. Now it's time to glue our pieces together. So I started off trying some Gorilla silicone and Gorilla hot glue sticks, but the silicone did not work. I highly recommend a wood glue, or like what I'm using today is tacky glue. That will work the best. Do not use the silicone, but please do use the Gorilla hot glue sticks. It's great to use a combination of 2 glues for a project like this because then you've got some long-term hold and some short-term hold. The hot glue will act immediately, and the Gorilla glue works really well outside. Yes, I am going to attempt to use these beautiful flowers outside. So I'm going to just go ahead, glue these together, line everything up. You only have a little bit of time to line things up. Add some weight to the top and allow those to dry well. You're going to seal them up really well with a clear sealant, and then I'll show you how I'm going to be using these towards the end of this video. I found this really cool tent candle holder on CreArtive Fabrica. I'll have the file for you down below. I'm using this design specifically right here. It came with 3 different designs. Once you have imported the image, select all and ungroup all the pieces. We need to separate everything and delete the pieces that we're not currently working on. So I just highlighted them and then deleted. Also, when you ungroup them, that will allow you to specify a command to each image that you also see. So I'm just going to work on these side panels. If you go to the right, I'm going to be selecting a new command that is not showing. To do that, you want to press the plus sign and a new command will show up and a box in a different color will show. I'm going to highlight all the grass and those dotted lines and press on the purple box to the right. That will create an engraving line, and the black line will be my cut line. I'm going to bring the images together again. I need to do the same to the bottom piece. So again, you're going to highlight the grass and the dotted lines, click on the purple box to the right, and then I'm going to bring the cut line together. Next, I'm going to highlight all the pieces and group them back together. This will allow me to move both pieces on the canvas so I can center them where I would like them so that they cut out where I can frame them on the material that I will be using. So next I'm going to go into the materials box, select what I'm going to be using, and then the thickness as well. I'll be using this wood that I got from Creality, and it is 8x8 and 4 millimeters thick, which is great for this project. You're going to want to place your wood in the laser machine and then press frame. The machine is going to, again, outline where it's going to be cutting out, and if it's not right, you can adjust your material so it will line up to where the machine's going to cut. I decided to change the command for engraving, and I did fill engraving instead of line. Now I'm going to close this all up so I can then click on the start button and allow the machine to do its work. I will be going back in and doing the other panels for our tent separately, and I'm not changing the size of any of the pieces. I really like the size of everything, so I thought I would just keep all that as is. So the machine is now engraving, and this is real time. I did not speed this up or slow it down. You're seeing it exactly as I would see it. And I have to say, it's actually kind of satisfying seeing all those marks being created. Now it is cutting. Again, this is real time. You can adjust the time on how long it takes to cut it, the strength and power. Again, I'm going to have videos on how to do all that linked down below for you. That's where I learned, and it was very, very helpful. You can see the detail of the engraving. I was really impressed. Okay, now I'm going to start to work on the other pieces. This is a little bit more intricate. I'm separating the pieces again. Remember, everything was ungrouped. And now I need to individualize what I want to be engraved as well as cut. So remember, you click on the plus sign to add another command, and then I'm going to be creating those dots as an engraving, and other things you just highlight it and click on what you want it to do. So I again highlighted all those dots, and I clicked on the green box to the right, and that will command the machine to engrave all those pieces along with the flowers. I wanted those to be engraved. And then if you want this to be a fill, you go ahead and then click on the fill engraving, and that will fill in all those lines. So I've got my material in place. I'm going to close it all up. It's already been framed. That is super important, so you know exactly where everything is going to be cut out. So I'm going to move on to the next piece. Now this one, I learned that you actually have to flip one of the the roof pieces. So I'm just going to delete that one. I'm going to do the one with this moon on it. I highlighted everything, and you want to make sure it's all grouped together because we want to flip this. I'm going to just command it at the top to flip it around. You can see it's still like everything measures up at the top. So then when you go to cut everything out, the roof pieces are going to interconnect together. But you can see I need to ungroup this again because my moon is now facing the wrong way. So I just thought I would just show this to you to show you how easy it is just to adjust things by grouping, ungrouping, selecting, and just selecting the command that you want it to do. So I've already cut out the one with the window and the stars, so I'm just going to recut this one with the moon in it now that I've got everything facing the right way. You want to again frame everything, then start and allow the machine to cut. So when I first cut this roof piece out, I noticed that my engravings were facing the wrong way, and that was when I discovered I need to flip this piece around so that everything connects together at the roof peak. So I cut it all out, aired it out, and now I'm going to again remove it. And the beauty of this particular one is that you are actually going to be left with some really fun little mini pieces to use for some future projects. There's stars, which are so cute, and the moon. You can set those aside for another day. All right, so I got all my tent pieces cut out. If you have any questions on how I did this, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer those for you. So you can see how these are lining up better, and I'll show you how they can interconnect with each other. Before, they were just end to end, and I could not interconnect them. You can see right here, this is how they originally cut out. So I flipped it, I was able to connect them like that. I'm using Gorilla Glue and the silicone sealant. This will provide really, really good adhesion for outside. Yes, I'm going to be putting this outside in my front yard. I wanted to create a really fun and whimsical scene. So it's kind of like a bit of a puzzle. I'm going to put these all together, and then I'm generously applying Gorilla Hot Glue to some specific areas, allowing that to set up. And then I'm going to go in and add my silicone. I decided to use a popsicle stick. Use whatever you like. You could even use a paintbrush. You just want to make sure you generously apply this to those seams and allow it to set up really well. I'm going to continue to join all the other pieces together. And then again, using my silicone and my hot glue to join all the pieces together. I'm actually really excited because with this machine, I have got the biggest project I ever made in my mind that I want to create. I'm going to gather up all my supplies so I can work on that video for you in the future. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited about it. It's been a project I've been wanting to work on for a long time. I just didn't have everything I needed to put it together. So I am so excited about that particular project. Okay, so the tent is all put together. The glues are all secured. And now I'm going to seal it up with some varnish. This is some heavy duty varnish and it's a matte finish. I got this from Ninny's Napkins, but you can use any varnish or polyurethane that you have on hand that you really like. So because this is a matte finish, it won't have any shine to it. But what this is going to do is seal it and protect it from the elements, but it also really allows that wood grain and engraving to really pop. So I'm going to give this 2 to 3 coats, and I'm also going to be doing the inside as well as the edges to make sure this is really well sealed. I'm taking a fine brush and going right over all those edges because I thought it would be so cool to use this outside. I'll let you know how it does. I decided to also give this a clear coat of some Rust-Oleum or Krylon spray paint. Next, I'm working on the other accessories that I'm going to add to this project. I've got these cute gnomes that I had in my stash. I just removed one of the pegs. I've also got this cute little bucket that I wanted to add with these guys. And then I headed outside. My cat decided to join me for the fun. I have my daughter helping me out with this portion. You can see he's sniffing her foot, chewing on some grass. Anyways, I'm using these solar lights I got from Walmart. I'm just wiry wrapping them around my hand, and I'm going to place a bundle of these lights inside the tent. And then I'm going to spread the rest of those lights throughout to create a fun and whimsical look for this little gnome garden that I'm creating with this fun little tent. So I'm putting my gnomes in place. I also have this cute little bucket that I'll put into place and other accessories. I also had these beautiful ceramic mushrooms I decided to add. I thought it would create a fun, whimsical look to this. Placing those, and then I'm going to also just let that solar panel charge up. It is off to the side facing the sun, but look how cute this is. I think this is so fun. This would be a fun project to work on with the kids. Once you have that laser project all cut out, you can let them play around. It's so magical and whimsical. I absolutely love how this tent turned out, and I have to say I'm so happy with how well that machine cut out these flowers as well. I put these outside in amongst a fern. I just put those little stems in place, and it is just a fun touch. But as an alternative, if you do not want to use these flowers outside, you can make a beautiful art piece for inside your home. You can put them on a fabric covered frame, such as I did here, or just a basic plain canvas, whatever you'd like. Get creative. It is a really pretty option for some summer decor. Here's some more outdoor DIYs for you to check out. Again, thank you to Creality for providing me with the machine and accessories. All links are going to be in the description. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.